Hey guys, tonight we begin with something a little darker. A time of soot, smoke, and silence. We're diving into what life was really like in Victorian London. Not the part with top hats and tea, but the back alleys, factory bells, and cold-wrenched mornings. Forget the romantic novels and polished carriages. The truth is, you probably wouldn't last a single day. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe. But only if you truly enjoy what I do here. And let me know in the comments where you're listening from, and what time it is for you. Now dim the lights, maybe turn on a soft fan for background hum. And let's ease into tonight's journey together. You don't wake to birdsong. You wake to the coughs of a neighbor through the wall, and the low hiss of a damp hearth that never properly burned. Your blanket is thin. It's never been clean. And your feet are curled up under it, still freezing. You live in a back-to-back brick house. One room, one window. 6 people. There's mold blooming in the corners. You can smell it, musty, bitter, always there. The floor is wet, though it hasn't rained. It's not rain. It's condensation. If you need the lavatory, you'll have to go outside and hope it's not full, or worse. You put on wet clothes anyway. No one asks how you slept. Sleep is not a concern here. Only time. The factory bell will ring soon. If you're not already outside when it does, you lose your wage. The fire isn't lit. There's no coal. You chew on a crust you hid under your mat. You wipe your face with a rag, the same one your brother used yesterday. It smells faintly of mildew. Someone's shouting outside. You don't check. You've learned not to. You step into a maze of soot and footsteps. The ground never dries. Your boots soak immediately. You walk fast, head down, because if you walk slow, someone might notice you. And nothing good comes from being noticed. You haven't eaten. You haven't spoken. And already, you know, you wouldn't last. The sun still hasn't broken through, but it's lighter than before. The fog outside is thicker now. A mix of smoke, breath, and chimney dust. You reach for the wash basin, except there isn't one. Instead, there's a chipped bowl half filled with gray water, used by 3 other people before you. The cloth beside it is damp. You don't know what color it was originally. You dip it in and press it to your face. The cold is sharp, not refreshing, just wet. You don't scrub. You dab, quickly, then move on. Because clean isn't the goal. Clean is a luxury. You check under the table for soap. There isn't any. There hasn't been for months. Not since your mother traded the last bar for a sack of coal. You wonder if you still smell like yourself, or just like everything around you. The walls, the coal, the people, the fog. You tie your hair back with a rag that used to be white. There's no mirror in the house. You haven't seen your reflection in weeks. The last time you saw it, you looked tired. Now you don't know what you look like, and you're not sure it matters. Someone knocks over the water bowl. It spills into the cracks in the floorboards. No one says anything, because water is hard to get. If you want clean water in London, you walk for it, or pay for it. And if you're poor, you boil it, if you're lucky, and hope it doesn't kill you anyway. There are stories about babies getting cholera from milk, about entire buildings emptied by typhoid. You try not to think about that. You just need to get out the door. The fog is thicker now. You pull a scarf over your mouth. Not for warmth, but because of the stench. You pass a puddle in the street. You can't tell if it's rainwater, spit, or something worse. A child beside you washes his hands in it. He grins. You don't. Because this is normal, and normal isn't safe. It's just routine. You hear it before you see the sun. A low, heavy clang in the distance. The factory bell. It tolls like a warning or a sentence. You grab your coat, if it can still be called that, and rush out the door. There's no time to sit, no time to eat, no time to think. The streets are already full. Men with sacks, women with tin lunchboxes, children with bare feet. You run past a boy crying on the curb. You don't stop. You can't. The bell rings again, longer this time, louder. The smell of horse dung mixes with coal smoke. You cover your mouth with your sleeve. Someone trips behind you. You don't look back. If you're late, they'll dock your pay or replace you. You see the factory gates, black iron, covered in soot and frost. You fall into line, silent, no greetings, no chatter. A foreman counts heads, one by one. He doesn't look at faces, only numbers. You're through. You breathe. Not relief, just continuation. Inside the gates, you see the smokestacks, already alive. You glance at the others, eyes down, hands blistered, clothes stiff from dust. No one speaks, because what is there to say? This is not a career, it's survival. One bell ring at a time. You step into the factory. The air hits you first. It's thick, hot, and full of something you can't name. Dust, grease, metal, and maybe despair. There's no music, only machines, and yelling. You can't hear your own breath. You feel it, but you don't trust it. A man points at your station. You nod and start working. There is no training, no explanation, only rhythm. Push, turn, pull, stack. Every mistake makes someone behind you slower. Every slowdown gets noticed. There is no room for thinking, only doing. Your hands begin to hurt. The glove on your left hand splits. You hide the cut because blood makes the foreman angry. Your shirt clings to your back. The heat rises from the machines. Someone coughs hard behind you. They keep coughing, but no one stops. You hear a child cry, not loudly, like they're trying not to. You glance down, a girl younger than you, pushing a cart with both hands. She's barefoot, and her toe is bleeding. No one notices, except you. You turn away, because looking longer might get you in trouble. The machine jerks. You flinch. The wheel shakes. Someone yells your name. You mutter sorry. They don't answer. They just stare, then move on. You try to keep up, faster now. Sweat blurs your sight. You think about water, but there's none nearby. You try to breathe through your nose. It burns. The air smells like warm metal and coal, and something that might be mold. You don't ask questions. You don't make noise. You just count your own movements and pray your hand doesn't slip. Push, turn, pull, stack. Push, turn, pull, stack. You lose track of time. You don't know what hour it is. You just know. You can't stop. You hear it again, a different bell, shorter, sharper. It doesn't mean rest, it means pause, nothing more. You step back from your station, not too far, just enough not to get in the way. You wipe your hands on your trousers. They're already stained with oil and ash. You sit on a crate, if you're lucky enough to find one. You reach into your pocket, pull out a cloth-wrapped bundle. Inside, a slice of bread, thick, hard, no butter. A few scraps of boiled potato, cold now, and slightly sour. You chew slowly, not for flavor, but to make it last longer. You watch someone nearby bite into a piece of dried meat. You wonder where they got it, but you don't ask. Because in this world, curiosity doesn't feed you. It just marks you. Someone opens a tin of tea. The scent drifts over to you. It smells warm and real. You close your eyes for a second. You swallow, but not food, just air and jealousy. You finish the bread. It's stuck to the roof of your mouth. You scrape it off with your tongue. You don't drink anything. There's nothing to drink. You lick your fingers, then wipe them on the same cloth you used yesterday. Your stomach still growls. You ignore it. You're used to that sound now. Someone offers you a bite. You nod, politely decline. Not because you're not hungry, but because you're proud. Or maybe ashamed. Hard to tell anymore. You stare at the wall across from you, not looking at anything in particular. The bricks are blackened from years of heat. There's a handprint baked into one of them. You wonder who it belonged to, if they ever left this place. You check the ceiling. Soot flakes fall every time a machine hits the wrong rhythm. You shake your hair out gently. No use looking clean, but habit sticks. Someone laughs, a small one. Then it stops. Laughter isn't common, and rarely wise. The bell rings again, short, sharp, final. Lunch is over, whether you finished or not. You stand up, muscles aching more now than before you sat. You place the cloth back in your coat, and your face becomes stone again. Back to the machine, back to the rhythm, back to being invisible. Lunch, if you can call it that, is gone. The lunch bell has faded, but the noise never left. You return to your post. The air is thicker now. Heat builds up between machines. Breath feels heavier. So does silence. You begin again. Push, turn, pull, stack. Your hand slips. You don't scream. You just hiss through your teeth. A blister has opened. It stings with every movement. You look at it, pink, swollen, raw. You wrap a piece of cloth around it, tight enough to hold, loose enough not to bleed through. Someone near you drops a bolt. The sound echoes, louder than it should. The foreman looks up, eyes sharp, jaw tight. He says nothing, but the message is clear. No mistakes. You don't speak. No one does. There is no forgiveness here. The machines grow louder, or maybe your mind is quieter. The sound of gears grinding becomes part of your heartbeat. You move faster, not better, because fatigue doesn't allow improvement, only repetition. You make no eye contact, because in here, looking means slowing, and slowing is danger. A new boy has joined today. He's too small for the machine. He can't keep up. He's trembling. No one helps him. He drops a tool. The metal clatters. Work halts. Everyone looks. The foreman walks over. Slow, deliberate. He doesn't shout. He doesn't need to. The silence punishes more. He grabs the tool, puts it back in the boy's hands, and stares at him. Then at the rest of you, a slow, sweeping glance. He turns away, but leaves a shadow behind. You breathe again, quietly, through your mouth. Your blister throbs. You move anyway. Push, turn, pull, stack. You begin to dream, with your eyes open. You picture the street, the smell of rain, the feel of grass, though you haven't touched any in months. You snap back. Someone else has made a mistake. Another pause. Another glare. Blame is passed like dust here, light, constant, and always in the air. The shift ends, but the work doesn't. You step outside, not to breathe, but to keep moving. The street greets you with a slap, wet stone, rotting food, ash. The air is thicker here, not from smoke, from filth. There are puddles in the road, but no one calls them water. No one steps in them on purpose. You pass a child holding their nose, another vomiting near a lamppost. You walk past a man sitting on a crate, his eyes unfocused, one shoe missing. There's a dead dog at the edge of the curb, half covered by newspaper. Someone spits beside it, keeps walking. You do too. The gutters are full, not just of rain, but blood, oil, and things without names. You smell fish, then vinegar, then sewage. There's a woman selling pie from a cart. You look, then look away. You once got sick from street food, 3 days of fever, no medicine. Your mother poured boiled onion water on your chest. It didn't help, but it smelled like effort. You cross into a narrower alley. The buildings seem to lean over you. Voices echo between brick, whispers, arguments, laughter you don't trust. There's a puddle with flies swirling above it. You hold your breath until you pass. You pass a poster nailed to a door. Cholera warning. You don't stop. It's the third one you've seen this week. Some buildings have chalk crosses. You don't ask why. You see a man with a long coat and a black bag. A doctor maybe, but no one speaks to him. He walks quickly. He doesn't look around. You wonder what he's afraid of. You turn a corner. The fog rolls in thicker here. White, but not clean. You wipe your eyes. They sting. You keep walking. Your stomach groans again. You ignore it. You've learned how. A rat runs across your path. It stops, looks at you, then disappears. You almost envy it, because rats don't worry about work. Or disease, or rent, or guilt. They just run and hide and live. You turn your head upward. You can't see the sky. Only smoke, and more buildings. You lower your head again, because looking up does nothing here. The sun has set. Not that it matters. The sky was gray all day anyway. But now the lamps flicker, gaslit, pale, like ghosts. You follow the crowd, not because you want to, but because you must. The market stretches over narrow cobbled lanes, stalls of cloth, bread, tin spoons, and lies. Someone shouts about fresh apples. They look dull, soft at the edges. You walk past. A man is selling perfume. You catch the scent, sweet and spoiled, like flowers trapped too long. There's music somewhere, a violin, sharp and desperate. Children dance beside the street lamp. One of them has no shoes. You place your hand on your pocket. Instinct. Precaution. You feel your coin. Only one. It has to last till Friday. A voice beside you. Care to buy a watch? You don't look. You don't answer. Someone bumps your shoulder. A bit too close. Too fast. You turn quickly. No face to blame. Only a crowd of coats and hats. You check your pocket. Empty. Your last coin, gone, like breath in cold air. You feel your chest tighten, not from anger, from tiredness. You don't yell, you don't chase. What's the point? You stare at the food stall nearby. Bread, too expensive now, out of reach. You watch others eat, some with joy, some with guilt. You feel neither. You sit on a step beside the alley. Your stomach is quiet now. Not because it's full, but because it's given up asking. A man sits next to you. He smells of beer and brass polish. He doesn't speak. You sit together in silence, two strangers. Same night. He stands, leaves. You remain. You look up again. The lamps flicker once more. A sign to move. You stand slowly. Your legs ache. Your pockets are light. You walk home, but there's no peace in the dark. You reach your door. It creaks as you open it. The hallway is narrow, dimly lit by a flickering candle. You walk past boots, a broken chair, a child's sock left behind. The stairs groan under your weight. You grip the railing out of habit. You reach the landing. Someone is coughing behind a closed door. You open yours and step inside. The room smells of damp blankets and ash. You light a match. It sputters, then glows. A single flame in a sea of gray. You pull the curtains shut. They don't fully meet in the middle. Outside, someone yells, then silence again. You sit on the edge of the bed. The springs moan beneath you. You unlace your boots, wipe the sweat from your feet. Your socks are stiff, your toes sore, but you say nothing. There is no one to hear anyway. You lie back. The ceiling has cracks you know by heart. You trace them with your eyes, like constellations no one else sees. You turn on your side. The blanket is damp, but warmer than the floor. You hear the wind against the window, then the creak of another bed frame, downstairs or next door. You close your eyes, but you don't fall asleep. Not yet, because the noise in your head is louder than the street. You breathe slowly, count backwards from 10. You wish you'd eaten more, spoken less, worked softer. You wonder if tomorrow will be better. You know it won't. But still, you let your eyes stay closed. The room is full, not with furniture, but with people. You share the space with 4 others, 2 on the floor, 1 by the door, 1 already snoring. The air is warm, not cozy, just used. You lie still, arms crossed over your chest, eyes open. You try not to move. The bed creaks at every shift. Someone coughs. Someone else turns over. Fabric brushes skin. A mouse scrapes in the corner. You hear it. So does everyone. But no one speaks. The only light is from the street lamp outside, filtered through torn curtain edges. It dances on the ceiling, faint like it's tired too. Someone starts breathing louder, not a snore, but not quiet either. You wonder if they're dreaming. You wonder if you'll get to. Your blanket slips off your shoulder. You pull it back, slow, so it won't make noise. You listen to the walls, to the rhythm of shared sleep. But you're not sleeping, you're floating, in between now and never. A whisper, a murmur, someone talks in their dream. You can't make out the words, but the tone is fearful. Your body is tired, but your thoughts are not. You think of work, of the dropped bolt, of your last coin. You think of meat pies, the ones you didn't taste, and never will. The floorboard near the door creaks. Nothing follows, just the sound. You wonder what time it is. You don't have a clock, but your body says, not yet. The cold returns. It starts at your feet, climbs up. You curl tighter, knees to chest, hands under your shirt. You pretend it's comfort, but it's just survival. You hear a baby crying, somewhere down the hall. It stops abruptly. No one checks. You close your eyes again, but the pictures behind them don't help. You see your hands, blistered, wrapped in cloth, still working. You open your eyes, ceiling again, cracks unchanged. You turn to your side, face the wall, feel your heartbeat in your ear. Maybe if you don't think, sleep will arrive. But thinking is all you know now, and sleep is always late. You drift, finally, but not into peace. Your body is still, but your mind isn't. You see a street, empty but wet. Your boots are heavy, your feet bare. Somehow both are true. There's smoke, but no fire, and no one else. You walk, but the street stretches longer. Each step gains nothing. A voice behind you. You turn, no one. You hear your name, not spoken, felt. Your fingers ache, your hands are burned, but you're not at work. You're at the table, in your flat, alone. But someone knocks, slow, measured, final. You open the door, but there's only your old coat hanging on the knob. A child cries behind you. You turn again. It's you. Smaller, weaker, covered in soot and shame. You reach out, but the child disappears, like steam. Now the floor is cold, and you're sinking. The walls bend, and the ceiling breathes. Someone whispers in your ear, still not enough. You gasp ... but no air comes, only fog. The fog swirls. You fall backward. But land in water, cold, dark, endless. You swim upward, but the light drifts further. Your hands stretch, your voice screams, but you don't wake. Because in this dream, there is no escape. You blink, and now you're back in bed, but you don't remember falling asleep. Someone coughs again. A door closes far away. You stare at the ceiling, afraid to close your eyes again. Because sleep isn't rest here, it's a return. You sit up. You don't know why. You're just awake. The others are still asleep. The room breathes quietly. You reach under the mattress, pull out a folded scrap of paper. You borrowed it weeks ago, never gave it back. A pencil stub sits by the windowsill, too short to hold properly, but it still writes. You sit by the glass. The candle's nearly out, but there's enough light to see. You start to write, "Dear," then stop. You don't know who it's for. Not anymore. You try again. Today was hard. You pause. That part is always true. Every day. You keep going. My hands hurt. I dropped a bolt. You remember the foreman's eyes. You write, "I didn't cry. I never do." You cross that line out. Too soft. You write instead, "I'm still here." Your fingers cramp. The pencil slips. You rest. You glance at the others, still motionless. You write, "I miss the sound of birds." That surprises you. You didn't know you did. You lean your head against the wall, still holding the paper. You whisper, "I'm tired of pretending I'm not scared." You don't write that down. It's too true. Instead, you write, "Maybe tomorrow." You stop again. No promises. You fold the paper, not sealed, not addressed. You place it back under the mattress, where it will stay. No one will read it, but somehow, you feel lighter. The window glows faint, morning again, though it never truly left. You hear footsteps overhead, a kettle whistling next door, the same as yesterday. You stretch your arms, your back cracks. You feel older than you are. The room smells the same coal, sweat, silence. You sit up, look at your boots by the door. They're still wet. You reach under the mattress, touch the folded paper. You leave it there. The floor creaks under your feet. Your knees ache before you've even stood. You look out the window, same street, same fog. You pull your scarf over your mouth, not for warmth, for smell. Your fingers wrap the cloth tighter. It's routine now. You eat the heel of yesterday's bread. Tough, but it keeps your stomach quiet. Someone knocks, not at your door, but you flinch anyway. You step into your boots, still damp. You don't react. You tie the laces, same knots, same tightness. You open the door. Cold rushes in. Your breath clouds. You step outside. No one says good morning. No one expects it. The bell hasn't rung yet, but you walk anyway. You know the path. You know the faces. You know what's next. And still, you keep going. Not because of hope, but because of habit. Because survival isn't a decision, it's a rhythm. Push, turn, pull, stack. Push, turn, pull, stack. Another day, same boots, same cold, same gray. And still, you don't stop walking. If you made it this far, thank you. I hope tonight's journey helped you drift off, or at least gave you something to think about. If you enjoyed this, consider subscribing, so we can explore more forgotten corners of the past together. And let me know in the comments, what time is it where you are right now? Until next time, sleep well and dream boldly.